You know, maybe if teachers and principals got bullied for a day or two, maybe they would actually take bullying more seriously and do something about it. Instead of just having an attitude, boys will be boys, girls will be girls, suck it up and deal with it. This is the attitude that too many teachers and too many principals and just too many people in society in general have had for way too long. And I mean, bullying just continues to get more and more out of control. Like, I'm not advocating for anyone to be bullied. Teachers and principals shouldn't be bullied, but neither should students or workers. Nobody deserves to be bullied. Like, this whole St. Michael's college in Toronto has been all over the news for about a week or so because of the bullying that's been going on there. So in that story so far, I believe 6 boys, a number of boys have been expelled from the school, from St. Michael's College, which, by the way, it's a prestigious all-boys high school in Toronto, a private school. I don't know how much it costs to go there, but I'm guessing that it's probably quite expensive. So a number of boys have been expelled, and I think at least one boy has been suspended, and now at least 6 boys have been charged with criminal offenses such as assault, gang sexual assault, as well as other charges, because one of the incidents they're talking about was a sexual assault where they allegedly pinned one boy down on the floor and sexually assaulted him with a broom handle, a broomstick. And I think there's more than one video out there. And there could also be there might even be future charges of relating to child pornography for anyone who possesses these videos. Absolutely sick, disgusting cases of child abuse, bullying, harassment, assault, sexual assault. Absolutely disgusting what's going on here. And I mean, the school principal has, he appears to be taking it seriously, appears to be taking a proactive approach and all that, but from what I've heard from previous students that once attended that school, that's not always been the case. Like, I've heard from previous students through the media that, in previous years, they've had no problems with hazing, they've put up with it, and basically their attitude was, well, boys will be boys, suck it up and deal with it. Maybe they didn't say it in those words, but that was basically the attitude that was implied. There's just way too many people that have this attitude, and it needs to change. There's people whose lives have been very dramatically and negatively impacted by bullying. There's been cases of people have committed suicide because of bullying, such as Amanda Todd and Rehtaeh Parsons. Just Google their names or type their names. Type the names Amanda Todd or Rehtaeh Parsons into your search bar on YouTube or Google, and you'll see what I'm talking about. How severely these girls were bullied to the point that they ended up committing suicide. And even some famous YouTubers as well, too. like such as Mandy V and Jessie V, have talked about how severely they were bullied. Like between those two sisters, Mandy V sounds like she was more severely bullied than Jessie V. To the point that her mom even wrote a book about it. And she ended up having to change schools. And Mandy V and Jessie V's parents ended up having to deal with the police, get the police involved, and even ended up consulting with various people in the Canadian government about getting new laws enacted about bullying. Like, I remember Mandy V talking in one of her videos about how this one girl threw a chair at her, and the teacher saw this happen, and the teacher just stood by and did absolutely nothing. Like, that's roughly what I remember her saying in the video anyways. Whether it's Mandy V, Jessie V, Amanda Todd, Retail Parsons, another person I remember hearing about, a YouTuber, Mr. Repsion, or I think he might simply call himself Repsion now. He talks about how severely he once got bullied. It's not acceptable. It's not just bullying should not be just a part of growing up. You know, first of all, I think there should be a law passed that any school staff member, school teacher, school principal, vice principal, librarian, even the school janitor or guidance counselor, anyone who works for the school board with students, if they witness bullying, they should be obligated to do something about it, whether it's putting that student in detention, sending that student to the principal's office or the vice principal's office, calling that student's parents, or suspending or expelling that student from school. School staff should be obligated to do something about it if they witness anyone being bullied. I think they should pass a law that if a school staff member observes a student or students being bullied and they just choose to do nothing about it, they should be fired. They should be obligated to do something about it. And in cases where criminal offenses are committed, whether it be assault, sexual assault, threatening, extortion, any kind of criminal offense, they should be obligated to call the police. I know the police are extremely busy, and I do realize that this could cause the justice system to function more slowly, but just something needs to be done about bullying, and bullying needs to stop. And school kids and people in school are not the only ones that have to put up with bullying. Sometimes adults have to deal with bullying too, whether it's in the workplace, by their neighbors, or whatever. Bullying must stop. I encourage anyone, for example, if you're being bullied in school, tell your teacher, tell your principal, tell your guidance counselor, tell your parents. And in extreme cases where you fear for your safety, you fear for your personal safety, tell the police. And in cases of adults being bullied, like if you're being bullied at work, I know here in the Canadian province of Ontario, we have the Ministry of Labor. Like, try dealing with it internally at work first, such as going to your supervisor, manager, boss, whoever, like people that are in charge of your workplace. But if they don't take you seriously, go to the Ministry of Labor, or if you feel that it's discrimination-based, such as it could be related to race, skin color, nationality, gender, sexual orientation, something like that, then go to the Ontario Human Rights Commission. And again, in extreme cases where you feel that laws are being broken or you fear for your personal safety, go to the police. We all need to get together and put an end to bullying. This old attitude of girls will be girls, boys will be boys, suck it up and deal with it. That whole attitude sucks. That whole attitude needs to be thrown out the window. Bullying must stop.